internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Would you take a look at that? We got crypto, stocks, everything is in the red. The Dow closed with 2,200 points in the negative. Let's see how tomorrow shapes up to be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but I don't think it's going to be a pretty scene. However, you need to realize something here. Right now, we're pretty much setting up for the most outrageous reversals we've ever seen. I've been in crypto, if you guys haven't known, since October 2017. I've studied this ecosystem every single day. I've accumulated through the crashes, through the fear, through the bear markets, through the doubt. And let me tell you something. I have zero worry and I have zero doubt because I understand what's coming. And this is what I'm trying to educate every single one of you guys since the inception of my YouTube channel. I've put in the time, I've done the research, I've seen the patterns, and this is a game of accumulation and patience, and most people don't have either. If you are scared right now, I get it, but you need to understand something. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to get in before institutions, before all the headlines, before the regulation floodgates, even just let that sink in for a moment. Right? Like we're accumulating this and it can't be stripped, or maybe it might be in the future. Again, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I don't think that's going to happen, but before the masses even understand what blockchain is, nobody understands this stuff. So that's why they don't buy it, which is like the stupidest thing you could do. I mean, I remember telling my investment advisors when I was working with them, when I was doing private wealth, just buy it. Just buy it. I've done the research, just like how our clients listen to you when you tell them to buy a stock. Just take my word for it internally and just put some money into it. It's not going to hurt. But I'll still never forget this because they use like the best brainwashed term in terms of BlackRock isn't buying it. Larry Fink hasn't talked about it. That's actually what they said. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that in the boardroom. It was just me and him. We were talking about it. And the excuses that he came up with to why he wasn't investing in these digital assets, it's because, oh my goodness, it's comical. It's comical. This one, like Bitcoin was just under $3,000 and all that. It's just comical. But here's the thing, right? You got to realize how rare that this all is. The Dow has been operating since 1971, okay? 1971, let's go ahead and pull up the all chart right here. And the best part about this chart is when we come to the CV19 era in 2019, right, December, why, when you shut down the whole economy, it goes up. It makes absolutely no sense, but you do understand after all of that, they admitted that they just printed trillions. I believe it was around over $10 trillion, and they pumped the market. How does that make sense? It's literally just like Tether being printed and buying Bitcoin and printing Bitcoin. Watch what happens, okay? But time will settle everything. We've never had a shot like this before, right? This is like if you weren't here, if you weren't born here, and if you weren't accumulating, crypto is the same thing, ground zero, okay? Ground zero. I cannot stress that enough. And you'll never get this again in your life, okay? And you know what the elite said at the World Government Summit.
And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one.
And we are going to be in fucking control of it.
And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain.
And you think they were joking? No. They were laying out the playbook and the protocols that are going to run this new system. They're already here. They're being tested. They're being integrated. Digital assets like XRP at $2, we're going to look back at this and we're going to laugh. how cheap this was and how we were actually scared and waiting for a 30-cent dip like it matters when the value of XRP is at $30, right? And another digital asset I want to bring to your attention, just going to say this is outrageously undervalued and it's going to perform on the levels of XRP in the near future. I'm reaching these potential levels. Axelar. This should be illegal at these prices. Okay, it's like buying XRP sub 50 cents right now, and that is a fact. But let's just talk about, these digital assets are actually solving real problems, like we know, right? So these are the infrastructure layers, and their value is going to be insane. And for all the individuals, okay, let's talk to our 9-to-5 warriors, the paycheck to paycheck hustlers, and the people that are just scrapping by and still holding onto a vision. Listen to me, okay? I want to tell you guys something very important here. When I got into crypto, I started with $9,000. I turned that $9,000 into $1 million. And how did that happen? It wasn't by getting lucky. It wasn't by chasing hype, but it was by accumulating every paycheck, by staying disciplined, by putting off the dumb purchases, the bad habits, and all like that short-term dopamine that I would have kind of required for. Again, that $9,000 wasn't invested into one digital asset and then $1 million happened, right? So the $9,000 was invested, and then over the coming, weeks and months, we were accumulating every paycheck, every single paycheck. So I didn't come out here with massive capital. I came out with a $9,000 capital, and then everything else was just accumulation over years. Over years. Like you really gotta understand the importance of accumulation and how that pays off in the long run, right? And then that million, it came crashing down to 5 figures. But guess what? I kept buying because I knew what I was doing. I had a goal, I had a plan. I worked pretty much with pride when I was working, knowing every dollar that I was earning was going into something legendary. This isn't about, money. It's about positioning your life. It's about doing your job, showing up every day, right? Knowing that your money is working harder than you are pretty much in the future. Knowing that whatever you're stacking while the rest of the world is sleepwalking, do you understand? It's like pretty much like waking up at 5 a.m. getting a workout in while pretty much half the people are still sleeping and getting up by 7, 8 o'clock. Like we are, if you I just want to when you guys go to work and you guys all want to say you guys want to retire and all that good stuff, it's gonna happen. It's gonna take some time. The best part is you have an objective in life, right? You have a vision, you're working towards something, and that is just accumulation. Can you imagine just having that mentality of accumulate as much as you can, and over time, I know it's going to pay off, right? That was my mentality, and 2025, I couldn't have pictured it any better, right? You really, really got to understand that no one's doing it like you guys are. No one's educating themselves. And it makes the grind more fun, right? It makes every shift, every hour worth it because you're not just clocking in, you're building an empire. So, don't listen to the people that are telling you all anything negative. You got to just get them out of you. Don't talk to them. The real winners are the ones accumulating during the red. And there are the ones that disappear and stack, right? That's who I was. When I got into crypto, I was out. Didn't talk to anybody, one person. I was stacking, I stacked, right? You got to have the conviction. You got to understand the community. And the XRP community is very well educated. Just please understand that crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? It's a get-rich if you're not weak scheme, pretty much. Because a lot of people cannot even really, they can't even hold for 4 months. They're literally toilet paper hands. And just remember, you're very early still right now, okay? You still have time, but the window is closing. XRP, Axelar is just disturbingly undervalued. It is just, it's a joke, to be honest with you. I think it is a joke. But one day, remember, people are going to look back at these times and these prices, and they're going to wish they accumulated more. But just don't be that person in the future saying, you know, that could have been me. I could have bought more. I should have bought more. You know, you choose. All I got to say is just accumulate, keep your mouth shut, and it will change your life, okay? Over time. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I don't think any of you guys are panicking or any kind of worries happening, but just, you know, sometimes we got to have a video like this just to kind of break down how, you know, we're just got to have a talk. We got to have a talk because it's very important. Like, after 2025, I'll tell you this right now, after 2025, 2026 is going to be game over. Institutions are coming this year. And then, remember, we talked about how retail is priced out. I'll leave the link in the description down below if you haven't watched it. Watch it, and then you'll understand how retail is priced out. You know, it's like no one's going to be buying these digital assets. It's pretty much done. It's actually crazy to me that, you know, how much even $20,000 gets you an XRP as opposed to what all of us were accumulating when it was at, you know, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. And if you guys have been dollar costing average for this past, you know, 8 years, 9 years, my goodness, some of those dollar cost average price entries are probably extremely disturbing and can't even be shared vocally. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But the reversal is going to reward all of us very handsomely. And this is a race against time right now. Accumulate as much as you can. I don't care what you got to do to get, you know, extra cash. If it means you got to go to a bank and do what you not got to do and get some money out. If you got to go work the corners at midnight, you got to do whatever you got to do to make more money. You got to do it now. Okay, whatever I said in terms of working the corner and robbing a bank, don't do that. But in terms of just like really trying to go over your finances, can you free up some capital? We're not like, we'll come back to these videos, but trust me, the reversal, the upside is going to be very, very, very crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to hunker down, and I'm trying to tell you before it happens. Okay, just take a look at how XRP's new normal is like $2, right? But I will, before we end off the show, I did put in an entry just in case. Let's just see if we come down to $1.77. I put entries here just because I don't know how tomorrow is going to open up like. But I did put an entry of a $500 margin trade open, right? So we're longing it. I might even re-enter if it dips down here. I'm going to be looking at the market. If you guys haven't taken advantage of the BitUnex welcome bonus, if you guys deposit $100, you get a $20 bonus. $500 deposit, you get a $100 bonus, and a $1,000 deposit, you get a $200 bonus, which you could trade with and not even utilize your funds that you deposited. So the link is in the description down below to take advantage of those offers. But like I said, do not worry about a thing. None of you guys should be bitching or anything. You just got to be accumulating, and keeping your assets safe. Okay, very important. And we'll be back with another video.
But I think the idea of buying and holding forever and not trying to make adjustments requires that you've gotten it right in the first place. That you can only hold tight if you've bought right, if you will. And that is to say, have an asset allocation that has something to do with how many years you have to accumulate money, how much resources you have at stake, how much income you need, and how much courage you have to ride out the peregrinations of the market.
It started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our Degen pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 under XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight, believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.